Hello everybody, it's Miss Fran at the Cayce-West Columbia Branch Library, and I'm here today to talk to you about books. I'm feeling a little sophisticated with my scarf and my tea, and I just figured, hey, let's talk about some books. So today I'm going to highlight some books that are for tweens. So that's ages 9 to 12, roughly, and grades 4th through 7th. Also, adults, you guys should read these books too. They're really good. Teens, you guys too. So we're going to start with this book. It's called Of Salt and Shore, and it's written and illustrated by Annet Schaap. And I hope I'm saying her last name right. She is a Dutch author and illustrator, and so this book was translated from Dutch. If you like mermaids, sea life, lighthouses, adventure, a little bit of mystery going on, this may be the book for you. This book is a new story, but it feels like a classic. So it has a little bit of those elements of The Little Mermaid in there, The Secret Garden, you know, a little bit of that feel. But it's a great story about a girl whose name is Lampy. And that is actually her nickname. She's named Lampy because she has been given the responsibility to light the lighthouse each night. Her father is actually the lighthouse keeper, but he's not doing so well. Emotionally and physically, he struggles. He lost his wife, and so unfortunately Lampy is now in charge of the lighthouse. And one night, in her imagination, she loses track of time and realizes that she does not have matches to light the lighthouse. So she rushes into town and does not make it back before a storm hits. And so, because the lighthouse is not lit, a ship wrecks. And her father and Lampy are both punished by the townsfolk. Her father is locked into the lighthouse, and Lampy must go to the Admiral's Black House to work for 7 whole years. And this is a little scary because the Admiral's Black House is said to be haunted by a monster. So Lampy goes to the house and she has to work for 7 years. And while she's there, she discovers that the monster is not really a monster at all, but a boy named Edward, who happens to have scales and a tail because he's a merman. And so Lampy and Edward, she nicknames him Fish, forge a friendship. And really, it's just about them kind of saving each other. They're both alone in the world, and so they befriend each other and help each other along the way, and things end up pretty good there at the end. So if you like those things, mermaids, lighthouses, a little bit of mystery, a feeling of a classic, this may be the book for you. I also wanted to just highlight with each book some of the nonfiction books that we have that can go along with the story. This one's called The Very Short, Entirely True History of Mermaids by Sarah Laskow. I think we also have one on unicorns. So yeah, definitely check these out if that's your cup of tea. The next book I'd like to highlight is a realistic fiction title. It deals with a boy whose name is Isaiah. He's 10 years old, and he lives with his mom and sister. It's called Isaiah Dunn is My Hero by Kelly J. Baptist. Isaiah is a character that you're just going to completely fall in love with. He's going through a tough time. His mom and his sister and he live in a place that's not really the best for them. It's not the safest place for them. Isaiah lost his father to a heart attack, and so he and his sister are dealing with that, and his mom is dealing with that, and his mom is really sad, down and out, not able to work and not able to really help pay the bills that need to be paid to take care of the family. And so Isaiah, having lost his father, wants to do what he can to take care of his family. And that's a pretty tall order for a kid who's only 10. But Isaiah is resourceful, and he has a really good heart. And so he reaches out to his friends and lets them know what's going on. His friend Sneaky has like a candy business where he sells candy on the side, and so Isaiah kind of helps with that. And Isaiah also befriends a girl named Angel who lets him know, like, hey, you've got writing skills, like, let's do something with this. And so Isaiah writes poetry, and they sell poetry to make money. He also takes a job helping clean up at the local barber shop. And so as you can see, Isaiah is just a good kid who wants to do right by his family. He's lost his father, who was his hero. His father was also a writer himself. And so Isaiah wants to honor his family and honor his father. And so in doing that, the community sees that this family needs their help. And they pull together around them and help the mom, Isaiah, and the sister to land in a better spot. And so this is just a really great story about community, about friendship, about a boy who loves his family, who loves his mom. It's just everyday real struggles that a lot of families deal with. Everything turns out really well in the end. There's also a librarian in this story, so of course I like it because of that, right? So if you like a good story that has great heart, I suggest Isaiah Dunn is My Hero by Kelly J. Baptist. There's also some nonfiction titles that I'd like to highlight. We have a whole section on how to write, so if you're interested in writing poetry or just writing a story, we have how to write a haiku, how to write or write your own haiku for kids. We also have Out of Wonder. This is just one example of a beautiful collection of poetry that we have. So there's a whole writing section in our nonfiction section. Please come check those out. And definitely read about Isaiah.